Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Rizky Dumando from Group 5. Uh, Now we will explain about MBG National Nutrition Solution or State Financial Challenge. Okay, uh, what is MBG? The Free Nutritious Meal Programs is national initiative designed to provide healthy, balanced meals at no cost to children and vulnerable groups across Indonesia. The program was proposed and promoted by the Indonesian government as part of a broader agenda to improve public health, reduce malnutrition, and invest in the country human capital development. Who the target? BG primarily target children from early childhood education to senior high school, as well as pregnant women, breastfeeding mothers, and young children. This group are considered the most vulnerable to nutritional deficiencies and are expected to gain the most long-term benefit to improve daily nutrition. Why it matters? MBG addresses a persistent issue of malnutrition and stunting in Indonesia. It ensures access to nutritious food, supports children growth and learning, reduce family food expense, and strengthens local food supply system. What we found, despite is it is noble goals, there is still much debate regarding the size of the budget allocated to it. Here is data. Number one, the MBG program is allocated 71 trillion from Indonesia 2025 APBN, representing about 1.96% of the total state budget. Number two, uh, as of November 18, 2025, uh, 41.3 trillion or 58.2% of the MBG budget has been absorbed by Badan Gizi Nasional, leaving about 33 trillion for the remainder of the year. The last for two 2026, the budget jumps significantly to 335 trillion. Uh, the question, the question then is MBG worth funding with a large national budget? The pro and cons of this issue uh, will be explained by Tom Salaki.
Hello guys, so now we will discuss the pros and the cons of the MBG program. So we move to the first one, that is pro issues about this argument of the MBG program. So there is 4 points that we will discuss, and we move on to the first one, that is reduces stunting and malnutrition. So MBG directly targets malnutrition issues by ensuring consistent access to healthy food for vulnerable groups. And the next one is eases financial pressure on low income families. So daily meals provided at school lessen household food expenses, helping millions of families cope with rising food prices. And the next one is long-term investment in human capital. So it is providing nutrition, meals supports children's physical and cognitive development, which leads to healthier, more productive future workforce. And the last one is strengthens local economies. So this MBG encourages the use of ingredients from local farmers, fishermen, and small food businesses. It is supporting community economies and creating a lot of jobs. Okay, so we move to the contra issue about this MBG program. So the argument is there is four argument that we will discuss. So the first one is heavy and potentially unsustainable fiscal burden. So MBG requires a very large continuous budget. That is, critics argue that the government may struggle to sustain it without cutting funds from other essential sectors. And the next one is competing national priorities. So Indonesia still needs major investment in healthcare, infrastructure, teacher quality, digital access, and poverty alleviation. So this MBG may divert funds from areas with equal or greater urgency. And the next one is risk of inefficient implementation. So there is a high risk of waste, corruption, inflated procurement, low quality food, and budget misallocation. And the last one is not all beneficiaries truly needed. So a universal programs means the government also pays for students from well-off families. This raises concern about budget inefficiency and poor targeting. So that is the discussion of the pros and cons regarding the program MBG. Thank you.
Hello, sir and everyone. My name is Pierson Palkua. I am from Group 5, and now I will explain why we choose Contra on this issue. So, let me introduce again the question: is MBG worth funding with such a large budget? Okay, first reason is that it's a high opportunity cost. So, we know that with the same budget, we can support more urgent needs like public health and education, also building access to isolated region and in investment. Large budget also can disrupt other important sectors like education and public care. The second reason is that the operational risk it brings looking from the past incidents. So first, it requires logistic, kitchens, suppliers, distributor, and monitoring across 38 provinces. And corruption and low supervision can turn the intended benefits into waste or even harm. We may see also some food quality issues, poisoning cases, food theft, and many past incidents that shows that this program is rushed through without thorough coordination. Our third reason is universal targeting. Since MBG targets all the beneficiaries, it means that resources also go to those who didn't need them. This is inefficient because the marginal benefit per recipient are low. On the other hand, government can make or strengthen existing programs like PKH, BNPT, and KIP. Next is our current state situation. We know that currently our state are in chaos due to low public trust in government. On the other hand, there's also many economic turbulences. The government first step is to solve those problems. This utopic program may be done easily. Fifth is context limitation. So 1 meal per day can easily solve the root causes of malnutrition and stunting. Besides, there's many aspects that can determine one's health, and it is highly influenced by their routines, diet, environment and surrounding, and many more. Government can just simply make a one-size-fits-for-all solution. And lastly is regional readiness. Some regions are ready and still facing challenges like poverty, hunger, and low educational access. Government tries to force this program along with these existing problems that are still not finished up. So that's our discussion. We may now move into our recommendation that will explained by Virgilio Malovi.
Hello, sir, and everybody. Let me introduce myself. My name is Virgilio Malohing. I'm from Group 5. Now, in this slide, we gonna talk about our recommendation about MBG. Um, our recommendation in the first, we have a retarget. Instead of funding a nationwide free meal scheme, the government should focus on evidence based nutrition programs aimed at vulnerable groups, such as stunting prone children and low income families, so that public spending produces higher impact per dollar. And the second, we redirect investment in teacher quality school facilities, sanitation, and learning research yield stronger long-term benefits for students' academic performance and national productivity. Allocating the budget to these sectors provides a more sustainable return than a recurring consumption-based program. Restrengthen. Rather than distributing meals nationwide, the government can support local agriculture and SMEs, third-person reforms, community kitchens, or school-based nutrition projects that require smaller budgets but still stimulate local economies efficiently. In the last slide, we have a conclusion. What we've concluded so far in the first, MBG provides short-term benefits like improved attendance and daily nutrition, but its long-term impact is uncertain with broader improvement in education and public health. In the number two or second, the program requires a large recurring budget creating significant opportunity costs compared to investing in teacher quality sanitation and targeted anti-stunting programs. Number three, the last, more sustainable outcomes can be achieved by focusing on high impact target investment rather than a universal meal program. And the end, thank you.